Hello, angels, and welcome back to another episode of the Money Mindset Management Podcast. I'm so excited. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long, even though it's only been a couple days. Time is moving so weirdly lately. Do you guys notice that? I was looking at a photo of me a couple days ago when I was flying on Sunday, and that was a photo of me like a week prior, so 7 days earlier. And I looked at that photo and was like, oh, yeah, that was like 6 months ago. And I just stopped myself being like, that was 7 days ago. I'm a completely different person than 7 days ago. So much has changed, and I feel like a brand new bitch. And I've shared this on my Instagram, and I feel like so many of you respond being like, same, 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 same. And there's a few things. I think energetically right now, the world and energy is just moving so quickly. Like, I think a couple years ago, if something was out of alignment, you could get away with it for a long time. I feel like almost like a lifetime. Like, people were just like getting away with being out of alignment or being out of integrity or different things, maybe even being not truthful to themselves or others, and things would just go by. Now that never happens. It's like, I shouldn't say never, but like that things just happen so quickly. Out of alignment, here's the test. Like, testing is happening and reflections are happening so quickly that you almost like cannot get away with your own shit anymore. Do you guys notice that? And manifestations are happening fast. Everything is just moving so freaking fast. And I know this because A, I don't even recognize myself from a week ago. B, when I'm working with my clients and we do clearings, it's almost like instantaneous manifestations. And C, I just see in my own life, for example, if something's out of alignment, I will get tested in it almost immediately. Or if I'm thinking of something, it will appear almost immediately. Like, things are just moving so quickly. And it's just a great time. It's a magical time to be on earth. And I'm just so excited to be here. And I'm so excited to record today's episode. I feel like before we get in, I have to talk about the Skinny Confidential because it was like this most major thing that happened to me last week. And it was a massive part of this upgrade and what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, so this is what I keep sharing to everyone, and I vlogged it, so it'll be on the vlog next week. But I basically blacked out. Like, preparing for this interview has been the most insane thing that I've ever gone through because I got tested in all areas of life. Like, I feel like everything in my life almost like went wrong for me to be like, no, this can't be happening. I'm going on this Skinny Confidential, to have to like fix it, to being so worried that, oh my gosh, I'm going to this Skinny Confidential, like this can't happen. And everything was like going wrong, going wrong, going wrong. To the moment I walked in the doors, everything was absolutely perfect. Like, it's so silly, but for example, my hairdresser accidentally dyed my hair black. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to go on the Skinny Confidential? My hair is going to be black. Like, it's just like silly things like that. Like, literally an hour before going on the Skinny Confidential, the sales page still wasn't even activated. Like things like that. Like, everything just kept going wrong. And I was panicking, and it caused me so much stress over these past few months of just like having everything in order, being mentally, emotionally, spiritually prepared for this interview. I was so scared that I was going to go on and like not being able to speak English, like not being able to get words out. And I was just going to have total like shock and freeze. But thank God that this didn't happen. And honestly, like I said, on the way to I was picking, my interview was at 2 p.m. I was picking out my outfit at 1:22. Like, didn't know what I was going to wear at 1:22. They said, they're like, please just come at 2 because we start at 2. Like, it's like, there's no like waiting. It's just like boop, boop, boop. And I'm like, okay, totally understand. I get that energy of, we're not going to lollygag here. And so I actually literally rolled up at like, and then I ended up, because from that energy, I was like, okay, I don't have to be super early. It can be right on time. But then being right on time, I was literally right on time. Like, I was there at 8:51 and I interview started at 2. So I was kind of like, wait, this is actually a little bit stressful. I should have, even though I only had to be there at 2, I should have just been like waiting in the lobby or something, because then we went up the wrong elevator and I flew in Rach on my team, but she met me there. It was, anyways, it was a little bit chaotic. And then I was like, wait, I need to talk to my mentor about like creating chaos. But anyways, I actually had a session with my mentor the day of, and like energy healing. So I felt super protected. And the moment, you guys, the moment I walked into that room, I was the coolest, calmest cucumber you've ever met. Like, so calm. My nervous system was just so regular. I was so relaxed. And it was honestly the easiest thing I've ever done. Like, it was so easy. It was so normal that I was, okay, during the interview, I was so in flow. And by the way, I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. It comes out on October 17th, so next Friday. And I was just so calm and so in flow and so present. And as a girl, like, when you're doing things, you're usually thinking about, okay, what's for lunch? What did my boyfriend say last week? Does he still love me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just joking, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we're like thinking about all these things at all times because women have diffused awareness. So we can think about everything at all times. It's actually like it's a survival mechanism. So it's very often that it's very like rare that I'm like fully focused, like fully present. And it's oftentimes like when I'm sharing or serving. It's like, for example, on these podcast interviews I am, and in podcast interviews I am. Anyways, long story short, but sometimes in podcast interviews I'm not even. Like, for some reason, for that podcast interview, time stopped. Time froze. It felt like I was on the interview for 3 minutes. I was just fully focused, fully there. And when I got out, it was just like so normal. Everything was just like so normal. And like, to be honest, like, I was like, I'm in Dear Media. Oh my gosh, I was like freaking out. It was like the coolest thing ever. And then leaving, like, obviously I called Tian immediately. Like, obviously, like, me and Lauren, no, I don't say obviously, but like, we got along so well. It was amazing. I actually met her 2 years ago at a Dear Media event, and she was like, oh my god, hey, like, I recognize you. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. Anyways, just to say, I don't know if you guys have feedback on this, because I'm still like, wait, what? Because I was like, why was that so normal? Why was that so the easiest, normalest thing I've ever done? As if I was like walking into. Actually, I got more excited. I was excited, but I wasn't like, wow, like, compared to me walking into Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's last week was on fire. I was like freaking out. I wasn't freaking out. It was just like so normal and regular. The word is regular. It was just so regular, which is weird. Anyways, I left and I was calling T, and I was like freaking out to him, because then I started freaking out about how normal and regular it was. So anyways, it was amazing. I had the best time ever. I wish I could do that like literally every single day. I had so much fun, and it made me really want to create a podcast studio, and it was just the best. So that's the interview recap. Every client that I've gotten the call with, and like, everyone's, wow, what's that? Oh my god. So I'm like, okay, I can't like lead up this whole thing and then not share it with you guys. And yeah, it was so special. I'll maybe see if I can get the episode and even see if I can put it on this podcast. We'll see. Anyways, it was like, that episode was just the most magical thing ever, because that proves to me again and again that anything, are you listening? Anything that you are dreaming of right now that feels so out of reach, that feels so impossible, is possible. And not only is it possible, is it your destiny? If you A, never give up on it, and B, believe that it is. As long as you never give up on it and believe that it's possible, guys, I'm like, the fact that I was on the Skinny Confidential, to me, is the most insane thing in the entire world. To this point that, like, me 5 years ago, if you said, hey, Marley, guess what? You're going to be on the Skinny Confidential, I would be like, there's just no way. How? Like, it's just impossible. Like, I thought, how? And then I literally made the background of my phone of me sitting in that chair with the mic, because this is my evidence. And I want this to be your evidence that anything that you're thinking of right now that feels insanely impossible, as long as you believe that it's possible and you never give up on it, you will achieve it. You will. I promise you, like, you will. You have to. It's the law. You will. So even, for example, like, I've had many moments of this in my life where I achieve or track something that feels impossible, and that once felt impossible. And then achieving it, it's like it ignites this thing inside of me that I could literally do like 12,000 backflips right now, as how excited I am to share this with you and like activate this inside of you. And I want you listening right now in your headphones, right now, you, yes, you, that thing that you're thinking of that is like this thing that you want so badly. It's like your soul dream, it's your life dream, this thing that you want so badly. There's only two things that you need to get this. You don't have to be more productive than someone else. You don't have to be better looking than someone else. You don't have to be from a different family than someone else. Like all these reasons why your ego might be telling you that you might not get this thing is all a lie, because fear is false evidence appearing real. The only ingredients that you need to guarantee that you will achieve this thing that you're so scared of that might not happen is never giving up on it and believing that it's possible. That is the only two things that you need. And I want you to hear that so much so that it ignites you and it activates you and it takes that dream that's maybe so deep in your stomach that it's literally at your toes because you're so scared to even access it. And I want you to pick up that dream and I want you to put it in your hand. And I want you to look at it and I want you to say, I'm never giving up on you. I'm never going to give up on you. And I believe that you're possible. I'm never giving up on you. And I believe that you're possible. And that dream's going to go, oh my gosh, you believe in me? Well, let's go to work. And that dream, you and that dream are going to co-create the most magical journey and the most magical experience ever to fulfilling it. And we don't know how, and we don't know when. That's not our job. We just need the what and the why. What we want and why we want it. Why do you want this dream to occur? And for example, for me, for being on the Skinny Confidential, my why is exactly what I'm doing right now, sharing this episode. I actually wrote it down. The reason why I want to be on the Skinny Confidential is that I really want to, and I love to inspire and motivate people that they have the power to change their lives. I want to remind people what they're capable of and to be in charge of their life, to be the authority for themselves. This is my contribution to the world. This is what I love to do. This is what I desire to do. This is what I dream to do. This is what gets me out of bed at 5 a.m. to record a podcast, because I love this so much that I know that I am here to share this value with the world. And it brings me so much joy to do so. And I wouldn't be given this insatiable desire if it didn't have a purpose. Like it's living my soul purpose, right? And the universe is always going to reward you for that. So what I wanted to share this message with the world, and why I want that is for the reasons I just shared. And my desire was to be on the Skinny Confidential for 8 years. For 8 years, that's been on my vision board. I actually told them that. Lauren's like, Michael's been on your vision board for 8 years. I'm like, yes, yes. And it occurred because I was so rooted in my what I wanted and why I wanted it, and I never gave up on it. You'd think maybe after 8 years, for example, if we put this in a different context, let's say someone really wants to be in a relationship and it's been 8 years that they haven't met their person. And then after 8 years, they meet their person. It's the best soulmate dream that they've been waiting for. I believe 100% of the time, you guys, if you knew that you were going to achieve it, you would never give up on it, right? Like if that person knew after 8 years you're going to meet the love of your life. So enjoy the journey. Like just enjoy. And all you need to do is invest in you and be the best possible version of you along the way. If I can guarantee that you will get there. If I can guarantee that you could get to where you want to be right now, how would you show up? If I could guarantee to you right now that you're going to become a millionaire, that you're going to have the family that you want, the child that you want, if I can guarantee to you that you're going to achieve everything that you want, how do you show up right now? How do you lean into life? How do you almost, and in the same word, like, how do you lean out of life? How do you relax? How do you allow life to show up for you and provide for you instead of trying to control everything? How do you just lean back and say, okay, everything's going to be taken care of? I think about this as like an all-inclusive vacation. I think about this actually going to my Panchakarma retreat. Okay, a couple years ago, I went to this retreat. It's called Panchakarma. It was in Bali. It's this Ayurvedic retreat. And I've never had this, but from the minute I woke up, from the minute to the minute I went to bed, everything was taken care of for me. For 4 days, I didn't have to do anything. And at the beginning of my vacation or retreat, I went to a doctor. He read my pulse. He told me everything about myself, about my health. And they, with their expert mentality, created the perfect routine for me for 4 days. I had 2 treatments every day. I had a meal plan and I had supplements every day. And everything was perfectly custom, curated to me, to my body, to my energy type, to create the most healing experience for myself. So from the moment I woke up, I had tea at my door, I had breakfast in bed, I had a journaling, and then I had a treatment. Throughout my entire day, everything was curated for me to give me the best experience possible. Was everything enjoyable? Not necessarily, because I had to do some treatments that weren't enjoyable. They were uncomfortable. But was it for my highest good? Yes. Did I trust the process? Yes. And after that experience, did I feel incredible? Like, honestly, kind of like the best I've ever felt. And I want you to think about that with life. If you're going in with the intention for your highest good, and you are going in with this belief that I want this and this is why I want it. Let's say for the retreat, like, I want to feel good because I want to show up and be the best version of myself. I went in with that intention and I came out with that result. If you start going through life with the intention to achieve, and you will attract everything that you desire, with that intention, you will achieve it. The thing that keeps me up at night is that people don't think they're going to achieve it. And people doubt themselves and they settle. And they stay in relationships that are okay or good. And they stay in careers that don't fulfill them. And they live in a body that they're uncomfortable in. And that literally keeps me up at night. That terrifies me. And I know that does, because I spent so much, and I personally feel like, and this is my own belief, but I feel like I wasted so much of my life because I was so unhappy. I was so unfulfilled. I was so off purpose. And I feel like I was wasting my gifts because I was trying to fit into a box. Oh my gosh, that was my alarm. Isn't that funny? Okay, I was trying to fit into a box that I wasn't meant to. Like, for example, I was trying to do things that people were telling me I should be good at, and I just, like, inherently wasn't good at those things. And I would force myself to do them because I felt like I should, because that's what everyone else was doing. And instead of thinking, okay, what am I actually good at? And how can I go all in on that? Because that's actually what feels good, and play to my strengths instead of playing to my weaknesses. And this is so silly, but like, growing up, I took singing lessons. I can't remember actually why I took them, but I started taking singing lessons. I think it was something that was provided at the school and it was like free or subsidized. So I was like trying new things. And I think I wanted to be Taylor Swift, to be honest. So anyways, I started taking singing lessons, and I'm not a good singer. Like, I'm not a naturally good singer. I know that. And now I know that. And it's just not something that I am naturally good at. I'm not naturally good at like instruments either. It didn't come naturally to me. But because in school you're like forced to do these things, I started making up this belief that I wasn't good. I wasn't good at what I did, and I'm not good enough. And I would like try so hard to be good at these things, but I just like naturally didn't come to me. Okay. So again, I was forced to do something that I'm not naturally good at to try to be good at it, but I wasn't good at it. And then I made this whole belief system that I'm not good at it. Instead of, again, at this time, I obviously didn't know this because I was so brainwashed, but instead of thinking, okay, wait, let's take a step back. But I was like 7, so I didn't have this consciousness, and I didn't have people around me with this consciousness of like, what are your strengths? And let's play to your strengths. Okay, and I think now we live in a society where it's like it's so easy to play to your strengths because we have so much access to information and learning. And I met this guy the other day, and his children, he has 2 girls, they're like going mountain biking, and they're doing all these incredible things because they're learning all these incredible skills on YouTube. And I'm like, wow, I just like didn't have that growing up. So I had to fit myself into this box of like what was available. And for example, like soccer. I'm not really that good at soccer, but it was the only sport in my town growing up. So I tried to force myself to be good at soccer, but I wasn't. And so I kept making up this belief because it was reflected in my reality that I wasn't good at anything I did, I wasn't good at. And anything I did, I wasn't succeeding at. And so I thought I was an unsuccessful person for so long of my life until I honestly graduated from university. And I started being like, and I started getting into personal development. I started getting into manifestation and this world of creating your own reality. And that was the first time in my life that I felt like I started to get good at something because that's my strength. This is my strength. But I didn't know to play to this because I didn't know that this was my strength. And then when I started playing to my strength, which is business, manifestation, sharing wisdom, then things started succeeding. And I got to rewrite the story that I'm not good at what I do because I was trying to force myself to do something I wasn't good at because I just wasn't playing to my strengths. And now I get to play to my strengths, and now I get to rewrite that story. And I have to be honest, this is like not the episode I had planned for today at all. So I don't know. I guess this is just what everyone needs to hear. This is like what came through me today. I always at everything at the beginning of every single episode, I ask energy just to move through me and share whatever needs to be shared. And this is, I guess, exactly what needs to be shared. So the takeaway of this is number 1, I need you to know that you have the power to create anything in your life. Anything. Even that thing right now that feels impossible. Like, I'll share with you right now, I have this desire to become a billionaire. Does that feel literally impossible? Yes. Does it feel like there's no way? Yes. But I now know that it will come true because I have so much evidence that anything that you desire is possible. So it will. And I have this desire in my heart to become one, and that's all I need. So what is your version of that? What is your version of the Skinny Confidential that you've given up on or that you think is impossible and you're believing that it's impossible? I need you to change your mindset in this moment today. I need you to commit right now as you listen to this right now. I need you to change your mindset, and I need you to change your belief system, and I need you to change to, instead of I can't, to I can. And I need you to never stop saying I can. That's an oxymoron. I need you to only say I can. I can, I can, I can, and I will, I can, and I will. I need you to always continue to say, I can. That's number 1. Number 2 is any single belief, insecurity, fear, doubt, lack that you have around that goal, you have tools to clear that. Inside my Higher Self app, there's a method called Clear the Fear. This is the most effective, efficient way to clear any of your limiting beliefs. It only takes 22 minutes, and it will change your life. Thirdly, I need you to start playing to your strengths. Stop playing to your weaknesses. Play to your strengths. And typically, your strengths are those things that you think aren't going to get you to where you want to go. It just comes so easy. It's so natural. This isn't going to make me money or these things that you're been taught or told, right? That's actually your greatest superpower. The most successful people in the world are playing to their strengths. It's time for you to start playing to yours. And you need to rewrite this story that you are actually incredible at what you do. You are more than enough. And you are so talented and so special and so unique. It's time to start playing to your strengths. And guys, I have to tell you, like, okay, in the next episode, I'm going to talk about what it's like to be, like, to how to get to this level of value and how to reprogram your mindset so that you are such a high value person. And honestly, I have literally in 7 days completely changed my skin. I'm going to share a photo on Instagram before and after in 7 days, literally before and after. You think this is with like a 6 months transformation, 7 days. And I've done that because I changed the perception of myself. I changed the belief around myself that I am enough. And I think I had a complete identity shift like before being on the Skinny Confidential and after. And I did that through the tools that I'm sharing with you right now. And what I'm going to share with you in the next episode of how I changed my high value. Okay? So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you hit that follow button. Stay subscribed so you never miss an episode. Okay, if you know anyone that could benefit from this episode, send it their way. And if you want to change your life and change your reality, it is on the other side of changing your beliefs and changing that it is possible for you. And if you need support with that, you know where to go. It's in the Higher Self app. Okay, I love you guys so much. I'm going to give you a forehead kiss. Mwah! And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye. Hey, before you go, would you love a free track that will clear any blocks to manifest what you desire? If you have heard me, you have heard me talk about my Clear the Fear method, and I'm offering you a free track, and all we ask in return is if you submit a review for the podcast. Just submit an honest review, take a screenshot and send it to hello@marleyrose.ca, and we will send you this free track so that you can unblock manifesting anything that you desire. This track is extremely powerful, so there's something in your life that you have been manifesting and it hasn't come through yet. Try this track to unblock and manifest all that you desire. I'm so excited for you to experience this magic, and I cannot wait for you to manifest everything that you desire. Thank you so much for submitting your review, and I look forward to reading it.